Okay, good evening. I'm calling to order the January 9th meeting of the Salem Planning Commission. Because we have no president and no vice president for the bylaws. The meeting. We are going to start with swearing in of our new commissioners. We're gonna have Fred do that. And I believe Commissioner Truitt is up first. So we will need you to come down here and state your name front.
So, okay.
So
repeat after me.
you have to go around. I just think to go around. Very official, and I move out. There could be pictures. It's very official.
Yeah, so I guess we have to stand.
Do you want a picture?
Let's do it. Repeat after me. So, I state your name. I, Jordan Truitt, do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. That I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. And of the state of Oregon. And of the state of Oregon. And the city charter. And the city charter. And ordinances of the city of Salem. And ordinances of the city of Salem. And that I will do to the best of my ability. And that I will do to the best of my ability. Faithfully and lawfully perform. Faithfully and lawfully perform. The duties of planning commissioner. The duties of planning commissioner. For Salem during my continuance therein. For Salem during my continuance therein. I've gone first try. Try to take too many long sentences. Rhodes.
Sure, Rhodes.
State your name.
I, Beth Rhodes,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution,
that I will support the Constitution
laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America
the state of Oregon,
and of the state of Oregon,
city charter
and the city charter and ordinances
of the city of Salem.
of the city of Salem,
I will do to the best of my ability,
and that I will do to the best of my ability,
faithfully and lawfully perform
faithfully and lawfully perform
the duties of planning commissioner
the duties of planning commissioner
for Salem.
for Salem
Continuance therein.
during my continuance therein.
Just a little nervous.
I'm not sure I thought.
All right. I state your name.
I, Paul Tigan,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution,
that I will support the Constitution
laws of the United States of America,
and laws of the United States of America
and of the state of Oregon,
and of the state of Oregon,
and the city charter and ordinances
and the city charter and ordinances
of the city of Salem,
of the city of Salem,
that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
one lawfully perform
faithfully and lawfully perform
the duties of planning commissioner
the duties of planning commissioner
for Salem
for Salem
during my continuance therein.
during my continuance therein.
Congratulations.
But you can trip on the floor.
Okay, can we have roll call, please? And so you hit the button, it turns green, and then you should turn it off. Only 5 of them work at a time. So if you all leave them on, then the next person can't use it. Commissioner Augustine, absent excused. Commissioner Pop? Here. Commissioner Goble? Here. Commissioner Heller? Here. Commissioner Rhodes? Here. Commissioner Slater?
Here.
Commissioner Tigan?
Here.
Commissioner Truitt?
Here.
And Commissioner Villarreal?
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay, now we are.
Now we are ready for elections. We will start with president. And so we're looking for nominations. Anybody have a nomination for president?
I do indeed, I nominate Michael Slater.
All right, we have a nomination for Commissioner Slater for president. Do we have any other nominations?
Can I nominate Commissioner Heller?
Oh.
You can, is that what?
Yes, I nominate Commissioner Heller.
Okay, great. I don't know the rules when there's two folks, never seen that happen, but I think figure it out. Okay, we have Commissioner Heller. Any other nominations? So I believe we do a roll call vote and each commissioner picks one of the two nominees. If somebody gets the majority, then they are president.
Okay, I really don't want to be.
Commissioner Heller's declining.
I'm fine with VP, but no. Thank you, Davey, no.
Okay, we have a withdrawal of a nomination, it sounds like. You know, Chain is watching this right now and she's gonna
Oh,
actually tell me
this, yeah.
how I did or didn't do. Okay, so then we do have one nominee for president. Yes? Okay, then we will have a vote. Jennifer, roll call, please. Aye, if you agree with the nomination.
Commissioner Hott? Aye. Commissioner Goble? Aye. Commissioner Heller?
I,
Commissioner Rhodes? Aye. Commissioner Slater?
Aye.
Commissioner Tigan?
Aye.
Commissioner Truitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Bureau?
Aye.
Congratulations, President Slater.
No extensions, that was the big one.
We will take a 1 to 2 minute break while you pick up your things and take your seat up here. President, no, come on up and then you can lead the vote for vice president.
I guess at this point, we're moving on, we're moving on. I guess now we're moving on. I'll take nominations for the vice president.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Heller for vice president.
All right, we have a nomination. Are there other nominations for vice president? Hearing none, I guess we'll call the roll then.
Commissioner Hott?
Aye.
Commissioner Goble? Aye. Commissioner Heller?
I,
Commissioner Rhodes? Aye. Commissioner Slater?
Aye.
Commissioner Tigan?
Aye.
Commissioner Truitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Bureau?
Aye. Yes, congratulations. No. All right. Congratulations. Now that the most contentious issue is out of the way, we can move on to the rest of the agenda, which I think is public comments. Do we have anyone here? I don't think we have anyone signed up. Do we? So signed up. Do we have anyone here that would like to make public comments? I suspect that we will continue. The result of our next vote will be a continuance. So I'll just point that out in case there are anyone, in case there is anyone who would like to speak tonight at public comments that are not on the agenda. Okay, good point. All right, seeing none, I guess we will move on to approval of the minutes. So I would look to Vice President Heller for motion on that. Okay. All right, so I will look to Vera Brandel for a motion. Thank you, Commissioner.
I would move that we approve the minutes for the December 19th, 2023 meeting as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second for Commissioner Heller. Are there any questions, minutes? And do we have abstentions then?
Yeah, the commissioners that weren't on the commission should probably abstain.
Okay. All right, with that in mind, can I have the roll call?
Commissioner Scott? Aye. Commissioner Gogol? Aye. Commissioner Heller?
I,
Commissioner Slater?
Aye.
and Commissioner Villarreal?
All right, motion passes. I think at this point, we're moving on to item 5.1, public hearing. So I understand we've been asked to continue that hearing. Is there anything that I need to know or we need to know?
Well, we should go ahead and open the hearing.
Okay.
And then have a motion to continue. We might see if anybody here from the public is here to testify. So, there wasn't anybody here for the first two continuances, but if people have taken time off of work or need childcare arrangements, it's up to the planning commission, but you might decide to let those folks testify if they want to. And if there are folks here to testify, there will probably be more stuff coming in, and if you testify later, it'll be more present in people's minds when they're making their votes. But if you want to testify tonight, the planning commission might let you just do that.
Are they precluded from testifying again if they testify tonight?
No.
All right. So, now, all right, so. Guess we're opening the public hearing on, the minor comprehensive plan map amendment and zone change, case number CPZ ZC 2302. All right, so I guess, is there a motion then to continue this hearing?
I would actually ask, maybe we see if there's any public testimony in the crowd before we open for the continuance.
All right, so does anyone have a concern about that? Okay, if not, I would invite anyone in the audience who has comments tonight on this case to come up and present. You'll have 3 minutes. That's the applicant. Gotcha. I didn't realize that. All right, we'd already divided up into sides. Okay. Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Hearing none, I guess we will go ahead and take a motion then. Commissioner Howard.
I move that we grant it. I move that we grant it continuance.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a bit of,
And I think we should just, pick a specific date to do it. I think the applicants requested the February 27th. So we should continue it to a date certain.
all right, so we have an amendment to the motion. And it will be, so the continuance will be until
February 27th.
February 22nd. Okay. So, are there any comments? So I guess I have one comment, and that is I'm concerned that we've continued this case a few times already. And this is the only thing on our agenda. So we all came in tonight, we read the material twice now, at least for some of us, and we are continuing the hearing. So I'm concerned that we will continue this, but the next time we all get together, which will again, at this point, be just for this case, would be continued again. So I would just like to say personally, I'm disinclined to vote yes for another continuance. And I don't know where my colleagues are on this, but I just wanted to share that point. And I don't think they're under any obligation to not request a continuance. We can't grant anything, but it's up to us to choose if we grant a continuance.
That's correct.
I move to deny the continuance and to leave the record.
For today?
Yeah.
So are you revising your original?
Yes, I am.
Motion?
Yes,
Okay, could you restate it for us?
okay, I will. I move that,
Yes, is I'm disinclined to approve a future continuance.
okay,
But I understand Commissioner Heller would like to amend her original motion.
right, I move that we deny the continuance, but leave the record open for additional material.
Do we need to?
I need to make a comment. We didn't,
second.
Okay, so let me just understand, we have an amended motion, does that need a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so is there a second to Commissioner Heller's motion? Even for discussion's sake?
I will second the motion.
Oh,
You made a motion.
yes, okay. So what we're discussing now is denying the continuance, and we go to Commissioner Todd for a comment.
I just need to, we didn't do the ex parte commentary, the disclosure,
Thank you very much.
so,
I don't have a script for that. Is there any ex parte conversations that people need to disclose?
I just need to disclose that I am working on another project with Brand Consulting, who is the applicant's land use consultant. I can be impartial, but I just want it to be clear.
Any comments from Fred?
Well, if that motion were, if you were not gonna continue the hearing to the 27th, then I'm assuming the applicant would wanna put on their case tonight. So we can't just,
No, right,
yeah, we can't just not do anything and close the record.
right, I understand. Okay,
Do you want to clarify, city staff are not ready to prepare, to present the case tonight?
Then I withdraw my motion.
that was helpful. So we're back to the original motion of granting a continuance to the date of,
February 27th.
I just want to make sure we say that a couple times, February 27th. All right, so let's call the roll for that if we could, please. Yes, okay. Is there any more discussion on the motion? I appreciate the tutoring.
I don't know anything. No, my only discussion point is, just, as cases like this move forward, and like, there's so much complexity and a lot of like very complex conditions that are based partially on, legal back and forth and partially on, concerns raised by the public. And I understand all that, and I know that much of that is, in the public record and included on the land use case, for us to review. And I'm just based on the prior time that we've gone through a multiple continuance hearing, I know that it kind of comes down to some horse trading and some like sort of conversations between staff and the applicant. And I think I would really like to have a lot of clarity, as I know obviously this is my last meeting, unfortunately, and I know so it doesn't applicable as much to me, but broadly speaking, I think it's really helpful to have that sort of explanation of where the breakdown was, why we have, these, like, as the continuances happen, especially multiple continuances, knowing these were the city staff's concerns, these are the like legal arguments, and kind of having a really clear breakdown of, like what additional research or studies and things cities requested, what concerns the applicants had, what, like, I guess sort of the why behind the continuances as well would be just helpful, I do think, in general, for public record and for just the public's consideration.
Right, thank you. Do you have any response, Lisa? Or later?
I think we attached the applicant's request to the agenda, so that's what we received. I think they made their argument in there that the recommended conditions had changed from the original staff report to the staff report, and they wanted more time to consider.
Any other comments or points for discussion? All right, hearing none, if we can call for the roll, please.
Commissioner Fott,
Aye.
Commissioner Gogol. Are you voting on denying?
Continuing,
Okay.
just continuing.
Aye. Commissioner Heller,
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes. Aye. Commissioner Slater,
Aye.
Commissioner Tigan.
Aye.
Commissioner Truitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Villarreal.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. All right. Okay, that's it. All right, we are moving on to special orders of business. Wait just one second. Thank you for coming. All right, so moving on, we're at item 6, special orders of business. There are none. We have no informational reports. Subcommittee reports. We do have some subcommittee information. I don't know if they're reports necessarily, they're information. So, Commissioner Heller, would you like to go first?
Well, as you know, we made a presentation a few months ago on the streams, mapping of streams. And I would ask, the department to come back and update us, but, I'd be awfully willing to have some more people.
And the subcommittee is?
Oh, what is it? It's called, riparian and streams and.
Yeah, I think
What is
we
it
called
called?
it riparian areas of natural resources.
Thank you.
And it's Commissioner Heller and Commissioner Vera Brendel right now. Yeah, the new commissioners, I told them there were subcommittees and that there might be a request if they wanted to join the subcommittee, so.
So you get
That's
rated
one.
based on participation. All right, Commissioner Pot, any updates?
So for the design review standards subcommittee, that has not gotten off the ground as well as it could have. And we lost one commissioner and we unfortunately are losing Commissioner Gobel as one more commissioner. So we would like to continue that and kind of restart it for the year. But I would be looking for 1 or 2 other people to join myself and Commissioner Slater.
Do you have any recruitment pitches at this time?
I think what I would say is this is a kind of an exploration driven committee. We're trying to look at ways to provide more of a framework for how we can approach development within the city of Salem so that we are encouraging very future focused and sustainable developments while also allowing for the flexibility and design range that we want to see in a vibrant and developing city. So it is more exploratory. It's not like trying to come up with requirements and things like that. It's more about developing, like a framework for how we can approach development. If that's of interest to you, please let me know.
Thank you.
Can you say how many subcommittees there are? I'm curious of 2, the
What a
riparian.
very good question, and it reminded me that we in fact have 3. However, so we have a riparian and wetland committee, which has a more official title that Lisa knows, but Lisa doesn't.
Yes.
And we have our design study led by Commissioner Vaught. And we have a 3rd one, which I'm about to dissolve, which is the energy subcommittee. So much of that material got moved over to the climate action. And we also lost one of our members as well. And so that one, we're closing out. Commissioner Vera Brendel was okay with that. All right, so we have just 2. And at this point, we don't have any information we can give about attendance. So we don't have frequency information that we can give. This is kind of a new project that we initiated last year and that we're going to reinitiate this year. That makes sense?
I have a sidebar question about that. Are there any resources available for providing like either city staff members or even like a consultant to sort of help guide those initial discussions, like especially with the no, right?
I would love to get the staff's response to that question.
Okay.
Lydia's laughing loudly. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a specific topic, you can have a meeting with staff, right? So if you're like, we really want to talk about design in a certain area or something, and you want to understand what is in the code or something, and then we can set pricing units or something. Happy to do that. But as far as providing staff at each subcommittee meeting, we don't have capacity.
My idea, I think, coming into the design review subcommittee was, I think it can be really daunting for just like, it was just gonna be like the 3 or 4 of us sitting down talking about our like own perceptions of the design standards. But I think like it would be helpful, and this is just a thought I had, to have like, maybe it's like an hour-long presentation from an expert in like design standards who could just come in and like answer some of our preliminary questions and give us maybe a more broad perspective of how other cities or jurisdictions, have done things or what's working or hasn't. And I don't know, it was an idea I had and I wasn't sure if there's any resources available for something like that. Okay.
So I was kind of giving Lisa a little bit of a hard time because my understanding when we initiated this was that there was not staff support available. It would primarily fall on us to take the initiative of this. That answer is certainly consistent with the original request.
I would just add to that, I think part of the benefit of it being more commissioner driven at the outset, is that we do work in, several of us, at least work in multiple jurisdictions, and so we do come across code language and standards from a variety of cities and counties and development expectations and regulations. So I think it would be beneficial to the staff if we can come together with a broad idea, focus in on maybe a few items that we have specific questions on, and then allow them to respond. If it's too open-ended for them, then that doesn't give them any direction either. So I think this year we'll kind of come out of the gate with a little bit more structure and go from there.
It's my New Year's resolution.
Yes.
I think this is also maybe a good time to discuss, there is a rule related to the commission's request to get staff time, is that correct, Lisa?
Can't assign me anything that takes more than 1 hour without a full vote of the commission. Yeah.
So that's an important thing, that this committee does not assign work to staff, except in unusual situations. So, very frustrating.
It applies to the council as well. If you do join.
They're very frustrated too.
I know, right? If you join a subcommittee, if you could just let Jen or I know so we can add your name to the list, we just track who's on the subcommittee.
So the subcommittee reports, we're moving on to the most exciting part of the agenda, the planning administrative report.
Perfect. Yeah, I just have a few things. Made notes, let's see. The president is also on the Capital Planning Commission. So congratulations to your appointment to Capital Planning Commission. Their first meeting is this week, Thursday, I think. I'll let you know. I'll connect you with the first.
My classes are only Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah, I meet Thursday once a month. We have scheduled a joint work session for the planning commission with the city council May 20th. We'll send out an invite on housing production strategy. That's a date we're holding, but we are kicking off the housing production strategy, and we think that's a time where we will have done some initial work, and then we would want to get feedback from where we're going with the council and the planning commission. And it turns out council's work sessions for the whole year, like rapidly getting scheduled. Grabbed a date. So more about that as we get closer. I was wondering if there were, now that we're starting the beginning of the year, certain presentations from city staff or trainings that we would want me to get scheduled. I know we had talked about having somebody from the urban development division come and present on urban renewal areas and how those work and what the money is used for. I was looking at what we had last year. We had a lot of presentations. We had Department of Energy presentation on renewable energy options. We had staff present on climate friendly and equitable communities work. We had an affordable housing developer from Columbia Crossing present. We had staff present on the design of McGilchrist Street. We had a greenhouse gas inventory update, goal 5 update, and then Fred and I gave staff training on planning commissioner roles and conflicts. So as we think about, you have something on the top of your head, or as you think about it, let me know, because sometimes it's hard to get, a schedule with staff on their calendars. We might have to schedule a few months out. So be thinking, especially if they're not planning division staff, then I'm so excited to schedule them, call people across the city and say, you have to be at the planning commission for a training. Beyond that, I don't think we have any items for our next meeting right now, right? Is that correct, Jen? It's the next meeting date, it's like January 23rd.
January 23rd.
We don't have any items right now.
So we do have a kind of a process for that. So we are required to meet once a month. We're generally scheduled for 2, sometimes 3 meetings a month. So if we have met in the month and we don't have any cases on the agenda, we typically cancel the meetings. But if people want something on the agenda, it is a good opportunity to have that space available to us. So you as commissioners can suggest or ask for something to be on the agenda, and then we will meet. So, but again, we do have to meet once a month. Even if there's not a request on the agenda. So it's something to keep in mind. So that's why you will be getting emails from Jennifer that ask if there's anything on the agenda that you want to make. One of the things the planning commission can do is take a look into things with the presentations. So I would just encourage people to think of that as one of the advantages of being on the planning commission is when something happens that's related to planning or the built environment here, you can actually ask staff to try and get a briefing for us on what is happening. And that's I think quite helpful. So I would encourage people to give a thought to what that might look like. Any comments for the good of the order?
I'll make one. Yes, I want to just wish Daisy, Commissioner Goble well in her next endeavor. Thank her for being on the commission, because
We'll miss your expertise, we really.
Thank you. It's just been a pleasure serving on the commission and living in Salem, and the last 2.5 years have been a real joy. So I appreciate all you guys, and I know that all the commissioners are just gonna do a fantastic job. And yeah, I'm excited for this next move and see where the next step takes me. So thank you all for your support, and yeah, everyone's just really added a lot to this, this body. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gold. So I do have one question for Fred before we go ahead and adjourn. So we've had some cases here where there were quite a number of legal issues that were raised in the course of it. And we're not a legal body, we're quasi judicial. And sometimes I feel like I'm being put in the position with some of the applicants where I'm being asked to make a legal decision or a legal determination about something that's in dispute, which gets a little bit confusing. So can you speak to that at all? I mean, how should we as a commission respond to situations where we have an applicant saying it's illegal for the city to do this, or it's contrary for the city to impose some sort of requirement? That's not for us to determine, is that correct?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it depends if it's coming up in the context of the case. I mean, part of what you're doing is, making decisions on approval criteria, which is, it's kind of legal. If there's like procedural things that come up, like sort of tonight, then obviously you can ask me for, okay, what are the parameters, what are the rules, and then the commission still makes the decision. If it comes into something where somebody comes in and says, well, you're just violating law, something broad like that, hopefully that would be something that they would have, laid out or briefed beforehand, so we have a better idea of how to respond to it. If it just comes up on the fly, I can give my best, legal advice on what they've raised. It's obviously better if I have more time to look into it, but you can always, if there's something that feels like you need legal advice on this, you can always just ask me. Hopefully I'll be able to answer.
Can I use the current case as an example, or do I need to wait until? I'll wait.
Let's not, I don't think we should talk about any that might be construed as the merits of that case when the applicant's not here.
Okay.
But yeah, let's just leave it.
Okay. Sure. Anything else before we adjourn? All right, we're adjourned.